Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
The feds call him hockey stick guy, and today a judge told this Wixom man he's running out of time to take a plea deal in connection to the Capitol riot.
You are looking live at the Jack Breslin Student Events Center in East Lansing, where Spartan basketball fans are getting ready for their first taste of the new COVID safety requirements to be able to watch a game in person.
A change in guidance involving rapid tests and how long you should isolate if you catch COVID. Tonight, the CDC trying to clarify where it stands.
But we begin here with a new record-breaking number of coronavirus cases here in Michigan.
27,346 cases over the past 2 days. That averages out to 13,600 cases per day, which is the highest daily average since the start of the pandemic. We've lost another 277 lives to the virus.
Meantime, the CDC advisory panel voted in favor of recommending the Pfizer booster for children ages 12 to 15. The third shot would be given at least 5 months after the second dose.
City of Detroit also opening 2 rapid testing centers so you can get your COVID results the same day. You can get tested at Joseph Walker Williams Rec Center and Huntington Place, formerly known as TCF. Formerly known as Cobo Hall. And Governor Whitmer says she tested negative for COVID again today after her husband tested positive.
And as cases continue to surge in Michigan and across the nation, the CDC still struggling to clarify its change in the recommended isolation period for people who test positive but are asymptomatic. Our
Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with the latest from today's COVID response team briefing and what people really need to understand about these guidelines, which is they've been really confusing. I sent you that email, Frank. I was confused, too.
Well, they certainly have been confusing, Kim and Jason. Unfortunately, in an effort to return more essential workers back to the workplace faster, I think the CDC has basically created a lot of unnecessary kerfuffle. Their latest update basically states if you want to take a rapid test at the end of a 5-day isolation period, you can, but it is not required.
So why isn't the CDC requiring a rapid test as part of the shortened isolation period? Dr. Rochelle Walensky says the tests are only authorized for detecting whether or not someone has an infection, not how contagious they might be. And they're most useful when taken repeatedly on multiple days. However,
it became very clear that people were interested in using the rapid tests, though not authorized for this purpose after their end of isolation period. And because there was interest in using them for this reason, we then provided guidance on how they should be used. If one is to take an extra step and perform a test at the end of their 5-day isolation period, we wanted to make sure people understood how they should be interpreted. If that test is positive, people should stay home for those extra 5 days. And if that test is negative, people really do need to understand that they must continue to wear their mask for those extra 5 days after to complete a 10-day isolation period.
That masking requirement is very important. Estimates on how many people are still infectious after day 5 vary widely, but data from the UK suggests it could be as high as 31%.
So I want to be absolutely clear here. The safest way to ensure that you are not contagious to others is still going to be to isolate for 10 days. Now, there will also be a significant number of people who are still able to spread the virus to others after just the 5 days. Using a rapid test can give you another piece of information, but regardless of what it says, you may still be infectious and need to take steps to protect others if you stop isolating, including wearing a good, tight-fitting mask.
Dr. McGeorge, here's something else I am not clear on. If the PCR tests are the most accurate, why isn't the CDC recommending people get one of those before leaving isolation?
Well, the PCR tests are, in fact, the most accurate, but for this purpose, they're actually probably too good because they are so sensitive, they can pick up tiny pieces of the viral RNA long after people are no longer contagious. So, in fact, you may test positive with a PCR test even after the 10 days have passed, even if you aren't infectious.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for sorting it out for us, Doc. We appreciate it.
A lot of moving parts. Wow. Michigan State University is now requiring proof of vaccination or a recent negative COVID-19 test for indoor entertainment events on campus. That includes sports, music, art, and theater. Our Megan Woods live in East Lansing tonight, where fans are waiting to get into tonight's basketball game. Good evening, Megan.
Yeah, this is the first athletic event since that requirement was announced. And if you take a look behind me, you can see people going through this tent, getting screens showing their proof of COVID vaccination or a negative COVID test from no more than 72 hours ago. And if a fan can't show either one, they can't get inside. This is for attendees 12 and older. Fans can show proof of vaccination with either their card or a picture of their card with an ID. MSU students, faculty, and staff just show their university ID. Fans Taylor Williams and Darcy Shepard are both vaccinated and got here early to make sure they didn't get held up during the screening process.
I think it's for the best, definitely for, public health and safety. It's an inconvenience, but it's definitely worth it.
Well, I hope I don't get COVID here because I got to fly back to Thailand here soon. So I'm going to have my mask on. I hope everyone else does too.
And MSU's indoor mask policy is still in place, so yes, everyone inside will be wearing masks. And again, this new requirement of showing proof of vaccination or that negative COVID test is not just for sporting events. Again, it's for art, theater, music, all those type of events as well. Live in East Lansing, I'm Megan Woods, Local 4.
All right, Megan, we appreciate it.
We see Megan out there. It certainly isn't the most pleasant evening to be standing outside for very long.
Yeah, hey, Kim. Yeah, it is definitely not one of those evenings you want to be outside. Temperatures have been falling all day long, and we still have that wind advisory in effect until 10 o'clock this evening. So right now, we still have wind gusts that are over 30 miles per hour. So it's blowing out there, but the stronger gusts were earlier today, and they will subside after the next couple of hours. They'll just kind of gradually start reducing in velocity. And you can see now, temperature-wise, 21 in Detroit, 17 now. It's in the teens in Ann Arbor, 20 in Lapeer, 21 over in Monroe. And Storm Tracker 4 shows, if you watch carefully, you start to see right toward the end here, you're starting to see a few more little breaks developing. So I think we're going to start to see a bit of a degradation in the snow pattern as we get into the evening hours. And then we're going to see a resurgence tomorrow with another lake effect snow band starting to set up. But for the evening hours, if you are going out, temperatures continuing to slide into the teens. We'll still have some of those flakes around. The wind chills, of course, will be colder than this, down around 10 degrees or so. I'll be back again with the rest of the forecast, updating tomorrow's snow potential in just a few minutes.
All right, Paul. Tomorrow marks 1 year since the U.S. Capitol came under attack by an angry mob. And today there are new developments in the case of a local man who federal agents say was there using a hockey stick as a weapon against police. Local 4 defender Sean Lay live with the reason that a judge is running out of patience with Michael Foy and his attorney, Sean.
Jason, you're right. We're talking about Michael Foy out of Wixom. Now, he was offered a plea deal by the U.S. attorney in Washington, but that was back in October. The judge today, frustrated by no decision from Foy and his attorney, giving Foy 30 days to decide. So there is a time limit on when he can decide on the plea deal. Also late today, the Attorney General of the U.S. spoke out about the January 6th attack on the Capitol, saying more prosecutions are on the way.
The FBI calls Michael Foy from Wixom hockey stick man. Foy was identified by the FBI, alleging that Foy is the person beating police officers with a hockey stick last January 6th at the Capitol. Police body camera footage shows just how brutal of an attack it was. Federal prosecutors say the video shows Foy then climbing into the Capitol through a broken window. Days later, we obtained cell video of the FBI going after Foy at his Wixom townhome. Nearly a year later, the discharged Marine remains on a GPS tether back in Michigan, hit with 5 felony charges, facing decades in prison. The U.S. attorney in Washington has offered Foy a plea deal. That deal was offered back in October. And today, Judge Tanya Chutkan was not happy, asking Foy and his attorney why they haven't responded to the deal, saying the courts are facing a massive backlog. Today, the judge said there were people who were victimized that day who are waiting for justice. This has been a tsunami of cases. We are all overwhelmed. Foy's attorney says there is evidence he still needs to see. The judge told him he should have already asked to see the evidence, saying it's fish or cut bait time, and I can't sit here and have this case frozen. We need to move it along. It is either going to be set for trial or set for a plea. And late today, Attorney General Merrick Garland spoke about the anniversary of the Capitol attack.
Those involved must be held accountable, and there is no higher priority for us at the Department of Justice.
A lot more to be said about the Capitol attack 1 year later tomorrow, obviously. But getting back to Michael Foy of Wixom, 30 days now, so that means on February 7th he'll be brought back into court in D.C., or at least virtually, and he'll have to make a decision on that plea deal or go to trial. February 7th, we'll have it covered for you. Guys, back to you.
Yeah. All right, Sean, thanks. Coming up in about 20 minutes, NBC Nightly News takes you inside an FBI field office where agents are still combing through videos and photos from that riot. They are sorting through thousands of tips and using facial recognition to find and prosecute people involved in the attack. Tonight, Pete Williams gets behind-the-scenes access with the agent leading the FBI's investigation. He also explains why it's been so difficult to identify one rioter in particular. All of that straight ahead at 6:30 on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
East Point police need your help finding a missing teen with autism. Take a look here. This is 15-year-old Marquise Tolbert. Investigators say he ran away from his father's home on Pleasant Street near East 9 Mile on December 29th. He attends Oak Park High School and has not been to school in a week. He's about 6 feet tall and weighs 185 pounds.
Federal agents bust two men accused of using a car hauler to smuggle fentanyl. According to a federal complaint, an investigation into Frederick Haynes and Jeremy Joshua began around March 2020. In December of that year, agents say they watched the men deliver two cars to a car hauler at Lakeside Mall. During a traffic stop, state troopers found cash and drugs inside hidden compartments of the cars. 12 months later, a search warrant was conducted on 3 homes in Detroit, Harper Woods, and Sterling Heights, where drugs, guns, and cash were found. Both men faced drug charges. Joshua also facing a felony drug charge.